Hello everyone, my name is Educator Alan. I'm back with some few questions for the start this time. Do you know why people fail? Have you ever thought why always learners fail certain subjects? Do you know why in most cases they feel some subjects are very difficult? In this video, we are going to find reasons to why some papers are very difficult and others become simpler. This time I'm back with a very simple information but very educative. Please subscribe, follow us, click that bell on your screen for more information. You know that we have very many other platforms. We have a TikTok account, we have a YouTube channel. You know that we have even other social media platforms. Please follow us, subscribe for more information. During our years when we are studying, the people we used to study with used to fear chemistry. Let me talk the chemistry now. That was one reason I discovered they didn't have the right information right from the start. They did not actually look into the real reason to why they are failing. We are going to portray it now and make it simpler for you. Like in the first video we made for the followers, we said chemistry is the simplest now. And it is the fact I think you got to realize with the first information we gave. Chemistry, unlike the previous curriculum, it now has 26 topics. They added more topics. They seem to be too many, but we are lucky they compressed it to very few themes. There are only 4 themes we call elements of construct. An element of construct is a group of very many topics with related learning outcomes brought together to form one broad theme from which items are set. Before we go into that detail, let us get a simple approach on how to respond to items, to tasks given in items. This goes to learners following or watching. A response that is valid, that is targeting the maximum score as given by the examiners, should follow the 6 S's. The first S stands for shortness. Your response should have been short to catch up with the requirement of the examiners. Much as the response is short, it must be strong. Strength of a response should be based on the chemistry information that is included in it. The shortness is based on the number of words used. That means you should limit the number of English words you use in a response. Thirdly, or the third S, stands for sincerity. You should be sincere when giving a response. A response should be backed up with the reason in form of an explanation or a definition or an example. Like when I say someone is a thief, what I've said is true, but am I sincere? I should only become sincere when I give an example. For example, you check his house. Isn't there my panga? I'm becoming sincere because I'm giving an evidence. The fourth S stands for simplicity. Much as you want to make the point short and strong, doesn't call for using very hard English. No. For something to be simple, it means it can be understood by anyone. We educators of chemistry, we don't use much of the English. We know much of the chemistry language. So you should always use the simplest words, the simplest English words to back up your response. And the easier the response, the faster the marking. Remember, these people mark for money. The fifth S stands for specific. The response must be specific about what is asked. You should be specific. Don't go into details of other things they have not asked. You should be specific about what is asked. What is the task asking? The task is telling you to explain the categories. Don't go back and talk about other things that are not categories. No, be specific. You should be specific to the topic from which the item was extracted. And the last S is you should be straight when responding. Don't think you use the information. They don't mark ideas, they mark facts. There is a difference between an idea and a fact. Some of you want to mean, I liked that book. For example, I'm giving an example. You want to say, I like that book. You use other words of English. You start describing the ball. When the ball was rolling on the ground, the ball had very nice colors. I liked to look at it. Go straight, be straight. Say, I like that ball. Can you give it to me? So those are the 6 S's. The response is always studied. 1, should be simple, should be strong, should be straight to the task, should be specific about the topic, should be sincere, but very strong. Hope we are together. When you feel you have fulfilled all those I've mentioned, you will not be like those people I stated first, who fail because they don't know. They know the information, but the way you present the information matters. Do you follow that? Please subscribe. We have a lot. Like I didn't tell you at the start. We have very nice information about all levels of education, starting with nursery. We have very nice teachers who present very nice work on this platform in nursery level. Very nice information for the primary teachers and learners. Very nice information for the competency-based curriculum. Very nice information about A-level work in all subjects. Very nice information for the university students. We have research. We do research for you. If you need anything, please subscribe, follow their contacts on the platform. Today, I'm here to simplify chemistry. Not forgetting the 6 S's we've stated up. The 26 topics I talked about were summarized into 4 elements of construct. I defined it earlier. The 4 elements of construct are as follows, and each element of construct has a series of tasks or scenarios it sets in the paper. The first element of construct, I'm going to go as slow as possible. If you don't have this information, please note it. It may be beneficial to you. Is contribution of chemistry to our economy. It is contribution of chemistry to our economy. That is the first element of construct. Have you noted it? The second element of construct is application of chemistry in daily life. And each of these elements of constructs I'm mentioning has a number of topics that we are put under it. So the second is application of chemistry in daily life. Note them, please, if you don't have them. The third element of construct is diversity and interaction of substances and their importances in life. We shall look at the topics under these elements of construct, and we shall know which section of the paper these elements of construct set. The fourth is as the existence of natural resources in the environment and the importance in everyday life. The existence of natural resources in the environment and their uses in the everyday what? Life. Please note them. Contribution of chemistry to our economy, application of chemistry in daily life, and existence of natural resources in the environment and their uses. Are we noting? Then diversity and application of substances. We shall see the topics under them. Hope you've noted. As we stated earlier, we said the paper of chemistry, paper 1, has 2 sections. Section A and Section B. Section A always comprises of only 2 compulsory items. Only 2 compulsory items. We are looking at how simple chemistry was made and how to respond simply to the tasks always given. So, Section A is set from 2 elements of construct. The first element of construct from which Section A items are set is element of construct 2, which is all about application of chemistry in daily life. Are we following? Please subscribe. We have lots and lots of information to share. Me and you. This has a number of topics. Among these topics, we shall find topics like the first topic is food additives, or what we call the food additive. We shall look at them shortly. We have drugs and medicines. Are you following? Food additives, drugs and medicines. We have the nuclear processes. Let me hope you're following. We have detergents. Have you noted them? Contribution of chemistry to our daily life has topics which include detergents, drugs and medicines, food additives, and then the nuclear processes. This is set a question from section A. Don't be lied to that it sets a specific question. Let's say question 1 or 2. No, it sets a question from section A. And we said the kind of tasks you'll find in this part, or the kind of tasks that always follow the scenario from this element of construct, we said they always ask for the category. They'll always ask for the use of the product. They'll always ask for the challenges associated with long-term use of the product. The task will always include the evaluation of the products if more than one, the suitability of the products, and then in most cases they will always tell us to explain how the product works. Previously, in the previous video that we shared, I tried to take you through a certain question. It was from one of the above topics. When you are told to explain the category, please go on, state the category. They will mark the stated category, the reason, which is sometimes a definition of the category you are stating, and then they will always mark an example if you are told to explain. They will mark the category stated, the reason if correct. They always score an example. That is the categories. The category are very few actually. We simplified those of detergents previously. We said we have only 2 categories. When you are told to state categories of detergents, we said we have the soap and the non-soap detergents. The categories of food additives, we said we have the preservatives. We shall look at the details of the preservatives. We have the antioxidants. We shall look at that information. We have the stabilizing ingredients. We shall look at the details of that. We have the flavoring agents or ingredients. We shall look into the details of that. We have the dyeing agents or ingredients. We shall look into the details of each. And the preservatives. We have stabilizers. For the drugs, they are very simple. We have the analgesics. We have the antibiotics, based on the functions they serve, based on the functions described in the scenario. We have the analgesics for the drugs and medicines. We have the antibiotics. We have the antimalarials. We have the antifungals. We have the stimulants. We have the antipsychotic drugs and the antidepressants. We shall look at the details shortly. Let me hope you're following. For the food additives and drugs, unlike the detergents, for them they can be natural or synthetic. When stating the categories of the food additives and drugs and medicines, please start with either synthetic or natural and then add the categories. Please, when giving a reason for the category or defining the category, the example you give should not be these local examples. For example, are talking about a stabilizer, which is a food additive. For example, state, you give an example as Loico. Yes, it is an example, but that is not the chemical. That is a brand name. It's not a chemical name. We need the name that is chemical, because this is chemistry. We shall look into the details. When you are told to give the suitability of a product, any product, the suitability of the product is that unique property the product has. Hope you're following. And let me hope you subscribe. The specific or the special properties of these products are very many. For example, those of food additives, we have general properties. Almost all food additives are soluble in water. Almost all of them are very stable on extreme temperatures, extreme heat, and extreme coldness. So, when giving a property, you state a property and the special function the property serves. For example, it is, let's say you're talking about preservatives. Let's talk about a preservative, sodium benzoate. You may say it is highly soluble. What does the solubility serve? It serves a purpose of distributing the preservative throughout the food, throughout the product, throughout the food or drink you are preparing. So give the property, the use of that property, and the impact of the use when distributed. What happens? So give the property, the use of the property, and the impact of the use to where it is added. We are looking at the suitability, and give a reasonable number of properties, not one, not two, not three. Give a number, at least 4 for the start. There are very many properties of these products. Look for them, or we shall have a look at them if you continue following us. Remember, we said we are to make the new curriculum simpler for you, both teachers and learners. They always tell us to explain how the product works as a task. So when such a question comes, please talk about the product, talk about the special function the ingredient you're talking about, for example, does, or the special portions of the product and the role of each. And then when they collectively work, what do we get? For example, when you talk about salt as a preservative, how does salt serve as a preservative? What does it do? You get me? Salt. Talk about salt as a flavoring agent. How does it flavor the food? Hope you're following. So that is also another task they always follow. They always put below the scenarios. They always tell us to evaluate the products if more than one. Evaluation, when are given an evaluation, you always talk about the similarities and the differences. At least you give one. You give similarities and differences. You give one similarity, one difference. Not only one. You talk about both the similarity and the differences. You give one similarity, one difference. That is an evaluation. Please subscribe. If you are told to advise anyone in the scenario or a group of people from the scenario, if a question is posed as advise, and advice, we shall always be giving uses of the product and then challenges and their mitigations associated with the use of the product. So in most cases, we give the challenges associated with the use of the product and the mitigation for the advice. You may go on and give the best alternative, but what is majorly marked under the advice is the challenges associated with the long-term use of the product and the mitigation. So you will always give a side effect. You give the impact of the side effect and how it is mitigated. They mark three things. They mark the side effect, the impact of the side effect. They also mark the mitigation, well explained. Let me hope you're following. Please subscribe. Like we said, chemistry was made simpler. That is the information about the consumable chemicals or element of construct 2. In section A, there is another set of questions they always pose. This is always from an element of construct, which is the diversity and application of substances in everyday life. Also, this one has a number of topics in it. Some of these topics include the using materials, the ones that are polymers and the non-polymer using materials. They always bring a question from elements and compounds. The question may come from moral concepts. The question may come from the periodic table or structures and bonds. All of these fall under this element of construct, and that is element of construct 3. The scenarios or the items from that element of construct, they almost have the same task as those of the other element of construct 2. They'll ask for the category, they'll ask for the suitability, they'll ask for they will ask for the use and the challenges for the use of such products or materials. The item may combine all the topics I've stated. The item may come on a specific topic. Like we've been seeing main topics, main papers with using materials, items about using materials. So the item may come when combining all the topics. It may end with a calculation, that is moral concept. Please subscribe, follow us on the different social media platforms, website, Amto online education platform.